The stretches in this routine are great for stretching out the muscles in your back, also the muscles at the back of your leg and the front of your thigh and hip, and getting some nice mobility in your spine. We're going to do them either from sitting or from 4-point kneeling, so either have a mat or be on something soft and comfortable. And if you have a couple of blocks to hand or a couple of cushions, then you might need it for one of the exercises, but just have them to hand just in case. With any of the exercises that we do sitting, if you find it uncomfortable to sit straight up on your sit bones and you find that it's putting a pressure through your lower back and you can't sit tall, then sit on a block or a cushion. It needs to be reasonably firm. It doesn't want to be a soft cushion. The head cushions are too soft. So this really helps lift your spine, and it's much, much easier to keep sitting tall. So use them if you need to. We're going to start with sitting, so get yourself into a sitting position, sitting on your sit bones with your legs straight in front of you. Well, whether you're sitting directly on your mat or on a block, just make sure you're right on top of those sit bones, so you're not forward and you're not slouched behind. So have that sense, you can really feel them. In fact, if you just move any flesh away from under your buttocks, you find them and you can then sit really directly up. So try and keep any tension out of your thighs, so just soften your thighs. Again, if you have any tension, then try sitting on a block or a cushion. Have your arms straight out in front of you. Your arms and your legs are hip width apart, and keep your shoulders relaxed. So have that sense of lengthening up through your spine from the base all the way up to the top. And imagine you've got a ball on your lap here, and you're lifting yourself up over that imaginary ball. And you're coming forward, taking your arms as if they're trying to reach down towards your toes. You can just relax your head just a touch. So you have that sense of staying nice and long through the front of your body, at the same time nice and long and open through the back of your body. Try and keep your feet softly flexed. What you don't want to do is collapse. So have that sense of really staying long, as few creases through the front of your body as you can. Let's stay here for a breath, keep your shoulders relaxed. And as you breathe out, restack your spine as if each vertebra was a pile of books, one on top of the other. So you're stacking from the base of the spine until you come all the way back onto your sit bones and you're sitting nice and tall again. So let's do another one like that. So breathe in to sit tall and lengthen through your spine. Breathe out, lengthening from the base of your spine. Come up and over that imaginary ball and just dip your head just a touch. Have that sense of the crown of your head towards the wall in front of you. Keep your shoulders relaxed. Keep any tension out of your thighs and lengthen and stretch towards your toes. Stay here and breathe in. Breathe into the back of your rib cage, and then as you breathe out, keep your tummy pulled in, restack your spine from the base upwards until you're right back on your sit bone and sitting nice and tall. If you find that too much of a strain on your arms, then let's do it with our hands on our knees. Still have this imaginary ball here, and breathe in to sit tall. Breathe out, come up and over that ball. Walk your hands down your legs. And you can hold on to wherever you can reach, and then you can lengthen a little bit more up and over. And now you're going to squash that ball a little bit, that imaginary ball, but you're trying to think of your head and your nose going beyond your knees. So you're not just collapsing down, but you're having that sense of length through the front of your body, lengthened through the back of your body, and then you can just draw very gently down here. And you should get a nice stretch of the back of your legs. Have that sense of the back of your knees trying to stay down towards the mat. Stay here for a breath. And as you breathe out, walk your hands back up your legs, restacking your spine from the base right back on those sit bones, sitting tall. We'll do another one like that. Breathing in to sit tall. Breathing out, lengthening through the spine, walking your hands down your legs. Keeping long through the front of your body, keep your shoulders relaxed, your head relaxed, nice and long, and then gently draw your body down, keeping long through both the front and the back of the body. And you get a lovely stretch through the back, a lovely stretch through the back of the legs. Stay here, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, keep your tummy pulled in, pelvic floor pulled in. Walk your hands back up your legs, restacking your spine all the way from the base, and lengthening and sitting nice and tall. So now come with your legs wide, and we're going to do another stretch, but going slightly more to the inside thighs. Have your legs as wide apart as is comfortable, so don't force anything. Again, you need to be able to sit directly up on your sit bones and have that feeling that you can easily stay sitting up. Remember, also use your core, that helps you stay sitting tall. What you don't want is just to collapse. So again, if you find that it's really uncomfortable, then get a block and sit on a block. So have your legs turned slightly out, because the idea here is to get this stretch on the inside of the thighs. Have your hands on the mat in front of you, and again, as we did in the previous exercise, lengthen from your lower back and come forward, staying nice and long through the front of your body as well as through the back. And just have that sense of lengthening to bring your body down towards the mat, but not just dropping, and have the sense of your legs gently turning out, and just breathe into that stretch, especially the first time when you haven't loosened up and you're very tight. So let's stay here for a couple of breaths. And now you're going to walk your hands over to your left leg. You're going to keep the right hip down, so don't lift off that right hip, but turn your body over your left leg and lengthening away from your right hip. Hold on to wherever you can reach, whether it's just by the knee, further down the shin, or by the ankle, and gently, again, keeping that length through the front of your body, draw your body down and over your leg, having that sense of length. So you're trying to get your chin or your nose beyond your knee. And stay here for a breath or two. And then you're going to walk your hands back to the center, and keeping evenly on both your sit bones, rotate your body from the rib cage and your waist over your right leg now, and hold on to wherever is comfortable. Remember, each side will be slightly different depending on what tension you've got ongoing in your body. And then lengthen away from that left buttock. Your left buttock is staying on the mat, and drawing and lengthening your body down over your right leg. And stay here, relax into this, take a nice breath or two. Keeping your shoulders relaxed, make sure your face is soft. And then walk your hands back to the center. And then let's go back over the left leg again, keeping that right hip and right buttock down. Let's get a stretch like we did the first time here. Just lengthening again, relaxing into it, breathing into it. If you hold your breath, the muscles won't get the message to let go. And now put the outside of your left forearm on the inside of your left shin, the left lower leg. And then take your right arm up and over your body. You want to keep these shoulders open. You don't want to collapse down. So have this sense of the front of the shoulder staying open, your right arm staying over the top of your head, not in front of your head, and have that sense of your fingertips reaching towards the left toe. So my right fingertips are reaching away, keeping my right hip down. So I've got a lovely stretch through the right side of my body, especially you're thinking of taking and increasing the space between the bottom rib and the hip bone here. So the shoulders stay relaxed, and you're just getting a stretch in the side. And focus your breath into your right side here. And then now rotate your body back over your left leg. One more breath here, and then let's go on to the other side. So walk your hands back. Hopefully now you realise that actually you're a little bit further forward. You're nicely stretching out here. So now rotate your body over your right leg, keeping your left hip down. Just gently draw your body down over your right leg and breathe into this. And now put the outside of your right forearm on the inside of your right lower leg, taking your left arm up and over, keeping nice and open across the front of the shoulders, and reaching that left arm, left fingertips towards the right toes, keeping the legs softly turned out and thinking of creating that space on your left side between the bottom rib and the hip bone here. And stay here and breathe into that left side of the body. And then rotate your body back over your right leg again. One breath here. And let's do one more on each side. So walking your hands back to the center, the shoulders stay relaxed. You're just stretching from your lower back and lower spine. Draw your body down over your left leg. Take a breath. And then the outside of your forearm on the inside of your leg, right arm up and over the top of your head, reaching your fingertips towards your toes, stretching through the right side of your body, and focus your breath into the right side of the body. Once more, rotate over the left leg. And then let's do the last one on the right. So walking my hands over, drawing my body down over the right leg, keeping the left hip down, lengthening. Don't forget that length through the front of your body as well as that through the back of your spine. And now put the inside of your forearm on the inside of your lower leg, and your left arm comes up and over. And breathing into the left side of the body, legs softly turned out. Keep that stretch on the inner thighs. And then once more rotating over your right leg. And now take your hands back to the center here. Now see if you can have gone a little bit further. I'm feeling a lot more stretched here. So I've got my forearms down on the mat now, dropping my head. Again, thinking of lengthening through the front of my body and through the back of my spine. And while I'm here, I'm going to hold on to either onto my inside of my feet or onto my ankles, wherever you can comfortably reach without bending your legs. And then a little sense of just using that to help draw my chest a little bit further down towards the mat, and then just slightly increasing the stretch on the inside of my thighs. Again, all that time lengthening through the spine, never collapsing. It's a really nice stretch, this. And then put your hands back on the mat, walk your hands back up towards your body, restacking your spine all the way so you're right on your sit bones and you're nice and tall back again in your spine. That's great. So now let's do a gentle rotation. So bring your legs back to being together in front of you. And what we're going to do is we're going to put the right foot on the outside of the left leg. Again, make sure that you're sitting on your sit bones. Now this could be one that, even if you haven't needed the blocks before, that you find that it's much more comfortable to do so. So I've got my right foot on the outside of my left leg, and I'm holding on to my right knee. In fact, I'm going to hug it with my inside of my elbow here, and I'm using my left hand. I'm rotating through the rib cage. Place my left hand behind my lower back, not too far away, otherwise you're leaning back, but have it near your lower back. Lengthen through the spine as you turn to look over your left shoulder. And then come back to the front. And now I'm going to hold on to my outside of my right knee with my left hand, rotate through the rib cage and place my right hand just behind my lower back. Now, if you're sitting on a block, have your second block behind you so you're not leaning back to get your hand to the floor if it doesn't reach nice and easily. So you're sitting on one block and you've got the other block underneath your hand. Stay here for a nice stretch. Come back to the center. Now let's do one more each way. What you can do this time, if you've loosened up a little bit, is you can place my right arm on the inside of my right knee, and again rotate through and put my left hand behind, and again just use that slightly, my elbow on the inside of my right knee, to gently get a bit more rotation through the rib cage, still sitting tall, looking over my left shoulder. And then unrotate through the rib cage. And again, this way, you can either hold on here, or if you feel that you've loosened up a little bit, you can have your left arm on the inside, or the outside, I should say, sorry, of your right knee, and then rotate around. And again, use that to get a gentle rotation. As long as it's not causing any strain, you can relax and breathe comfortably into this. Sitting nice and tall, looking over my right shoulder. And then come back to the center. So let's do the other side now. So again, you've got a couple of choices there depending on how loose you are in the spine. So I've now straightened my right leg. I've got my left foot to the outside of my right leg. I'm going to cup my left knee on the inside of my right elbow, rotate around, looking over my left shoulder, my hand near my lower back and sitting tall and getting a nice gentle rotation through the spine. And breathing into this, both shoulders of course are staying nice and relaxed. Face is nice and soft. come back to the center and rotate, holding onto my left knee with my left arm, and rotate through the rib cage over my right shoulder here, sitting tall, breathing into it, then coming back to the center, and either keep doing it like that, or if you want to take it a bit more, I've now got my right arm on the outside of my left knee and my left hand near my lower back, sitting tall, using that to gently draw me around through the rib cage. Just go with however your spine is feeling, don't force anything. Breathing into that, coming back to the center, and let's do it the other way. So my left arm on the inside of my left knee, sitting tall, right hand behind my lower back, and again using that to gently draw me around, just that tiny little bit more. Breathing into that, and then coming back to the center, and have your legs straight and just give them a little shake. For the next stretch, we're going to be in 4-point kneeling, and again have your blocks to hand if you need them, and we're going to do a stretch for the front of the thigh and the front of the hip. Have your blocks ready for this exercise, just have them to hand just in case you need them, and just check before you start that you're in a good 4-point kneeling position with the hips directly above the knees and the wrists directly below the shoulders. Nice wide hands. Lengthen your neck, shoulders away from your ears, and your tummy pulled in. We're going to start by bringing the left leg up between your hands. So even if you have to pull it into place, do that. And then lengthen your right leg away. Now, just glance behind that you're still keeping that in line with the hip, that it hasn't gone out to the side. And rest your fingertips either on the mat, or if you're finding that's, again, body proportions vary. So if you find it more comfortable, then have your fingertips on the block and gently lean forward, always making sure that the left knee doesn't come in front of your toes. So if you find it does, then just take your toes a bit further forward. So you're just gently lunging forward, getting a really nice stretch through the front of this right thigh and front of the right hip here. And then if you want, you can bring your hands up onto your left knee, and again having that sense of lengthening through the front of your body, just lunge a little bit more, get a slightly stronger stretch through the front of that thigh. And then if you want to take it a bit more, you breathe in and bring your arms up, lifting your body up, lifting your spine, almost going into a slight back bend. Keep your tummy in. Think about bringing your chest more up to the ceiling rather than just bending in your back. Get a really good, stronger stretch even through the front of your right thigh and front of the right hip. And then bring your hands back down onto your knee and back down onto your blocks. Now tuck your right toes under and lengthen your knee off the mat. And again, get a nice stretch there. That's a slightly stronger stretch. And then if you want to take that a bit more, you can put your hands on your left knee, and nice and tall, and get a really good strong stretch here. And then put your hands back down on the mat or the blocks, drop your knee down, untuck your toes. Let's get one more stretch here that we did in the beginning, really lunging forward. And then lean your body back slightly to release your left leg and come back into 4-point kneeling. So let's do the same with the right now. So bring your right foot up. Again, if you need to bring it up manually, that's absolutely fine. Have your hands on the block or the mat and lengthen your left leg away. And remember, each side is different. And if you think that your knee is going to come forward of your toes, then move your right toes forward. Just check that you're keeping that left leg in line with the left hip. And then let's lunge here. Keep your fingers down here to begin with, either on the blocks or on the mat, and get a really nice stretch through the front of your left thigh and the left hip. And then put your hands on your knees and get another stretch here. And then if you want to, you bring your arms up, leaning slightly back, keeping that left hip forward. Get a really nice stretch to the front of the left thigh and the front of the hip. And then bring your hands back down onto the blocks. Tuck your left toes under, lift your left knee off the mat and get a nice stretch. Stay here for a breath or two. Remember, as I said, each side will be slightly different. So if you've got one side that's really tight and you don't want to go anymore, then don't go anymore. And then if you want to, you can bring your hands up onto your right knee and get a good stretch there. And then drop your hands down, drop your knee down, untuck your toes. One more lunge stretch through the front of that left hip. I'm also getting a nice bit of a stretch through the front, inside of my right groin and right thigh as well. And then lean your body back to release that leg. Come back into 4-point kneeling and come back to sitting on your heels. So that's a great stretch of opening out the front of the hips, and we get very tight there, so it's really important to keep those open. So the last stretch we're going to do, we're going to come back to sitting on our mats, and we're going to do a side stretch. Bring your left leg slightly wider and fold your right leg and draw it in so that it's sitting comfortably. So it doesn't have to be too bent, or you can bring it to be bent right up if you wish. So again, just move any flesh from underneath your buttocks. You're sitting on those sit bones, sitting nice and tall. We'll start by putting your right fingertips on the floor out to the side, and bring your left arm up and over and slide your right arm away. Again, you're not lifting off your left hip, and just drawing yourself down, creating a space through the left side of your body. We're going to keep this moving a little bit. So as you come up on an out breath, pulling in your tummy, try not to push off here, but come up from using this core, and then come on the other side. So your left arm goes down, your right arm comes over. Keep your right hip down, and don't collapse to the left side of the body too. Again, have that sense of staying lengthened. Use your core so you're not pushing off to come up to the center. And let's go on to the first side. Stay here, take a breath in. Breathe out, pull in the core and come on up and on to the other side. Take a breath in here. Come on up, and now put your right hand a little bit further behind your right hip, and we're going to do a side lift stretch here. So bring your left arm up and over, breathing in, and then come up onto your right knee, and then bring your left arm up and over your head. Don't sink into your supporting right wrist. Have this feeling that your left leg is open and turned out, so you're getting a really nice stretch at the front of that left hip, and your left arm is long over your head. Come back down with control using your core, and we'll do it again. Breathing in and breathing out. Stay here, take a breath in, really opening out across the front of the left hip, and come back down as you breathe out with control. We'll do one more. Breathing in and breathing out. And then stay here as you breathe in, shoulders staying away from your ears, face soft, and breathe out, come back down using your abdominals. Let's do the other side now. So come back onto your sit bones, take your right leg out to the side and bend your left leg so the inside of your sole's on the inside of your thigh. If ever you need a block under here, then use a block. So let's start by putting the left fingertips out to the side. Keep the right leg softly turned open, and then bring your right arm up and over, keeping the right hip down, and you can bend this left elbow to get that extra stretch, but keep nice and open through the left side of the body as well. Don't collapse down, so keep lifted in that underside of the body, and then come up using your core and come on the other side. Again, remember each side will be different. I feel much tighter on this side. So breathe into that, allow that to relax, and use your core to come up and over. Keeping nice and open through the front of the body, coming on up and over, staying here for a breath. And using your core to come up. And now place your left hand behind your left hip. Bring your right arm up and over, lift off that left knee, open up through the front of the right hip, and get a good stretch as you breathe in here, and then use your core to come back down as you breathe out. Breathing in and breathing out. Stay here, breathing in and come back down as you breathe out. And one more, breathing in and out. Stay here as you breathe in and come back down as you breathe out. And then bring both your legs back to the front, back together. Give them a little shake. And well done. I hope you enjoyed that. I've had a good stretch and I hope you have too. And I hope to see you another time.